everyone, it's Claire here. Hope you're well. So I'm going to talk to you today about a really pivotal moment in my life that really defined my future. It defined who I am now. It kind of created this version of Claire that you see in front of you today. And we're going to talk about, my years get blurred now I'm getting older. There's about 4 or 5 years ago when I had my first spiritual awakening. And I want to talk to you about this particular kind of 1 to 2 years where I was starting to find my spirituality. I was starting to be intrigued by this new 5D world. And I was feeling really excited about it. And I really wanted to embrace it and to absorb it and to step into this new world that I previously had no idea about. You know, I was very much in the corporate world. My business at the time was a corporate business, and I was that kind of blue chip, you know, suit and heels kind of businesswoman. That's who I was. And so this new world, this new spiritual world, was very intriguing to me. But at the same time, it scared me because it was very much, okay, if I let myself go into this, if I let myself, you know, kind of find this part of me, and if I change, am I gonna like have to leave behind who I was and what I want in my life and my dreams and my aspirations and my desires and the things that I love in the 3D world and all of these kind of narratives? You know, am I still going to be taken seriously as a businesswoman, as an entrepreneur? All of these narratives were playing around in my head. And what happened was very interesting and not at all what I expected. So we're going to dive into that. And really, what I want you to get from this podcast is, if you're a visionary and you have big dreams, big aspirations, you know that you are meant for more. You know that you're here to create a big impact in the world. You know that you're destined for big things in this life. And you're kind of on the fence about this spiritual world. And you're like, well, it kind of intrigues me, but I'm just not sure. You know, I like my life now. I like who I am. I like, you know, I like things as they are. So I don't really know whether I want to explore it or embody it or embrace it. This podcast is going to be for you. Okay, I'm going to get comfy. Right, okay, so what happened to me is I had my tower moment. Okay, so I had podcasts on that. I'd left my abusive marriage of 15 years. I had my tower moment, and I now found myself in this new world. And I was kind of seduced by it. I was like, you know, crystals really called me. For those of you that have been with me for a long time, you know, I had a crystal business, which I loved. And I was very seduced by this spiritual world. And I am very impulsive, right? So I'm all or nothing. You're never halfway with me. I'm all or I'm not at all. It's like hot or cold. There's no kind of lukewarm. You get what you see. And I was all in. I was like, bam, I like this world. I want in. And then what happened is it was almost like I was rejected. So I was like, hi, I'm here. I'm ready to come and, you know, be woo-woo and like, you know, get in line with the universe. And I want to vibe and, you know, I want to wear crystals and I want to manifest and, you know, all this kind of stuff. And I was like, I'm here. I'm ready. And it was almost like the 5D where we're like, credentials, please. You know, have you left your 3D desires at the door? Have you relinquished all of your ambition? Have you said goodbye to your ego? Have you done all of your shadow work? Have you got rid of all your material possessions? And I was like, huh? It was like, what? Come again? You know, say what now? And I was like, well, hang on. That's not kind of what you know, that's not what I thought it was. I didn't realize there were all these kind of checklists, these boxes that I had to tick off to be allowed to be spiritual. You know, I thought it was a kind of open club for everyone. And it was like, I was told, I was made to feel that I couldn't truly be spiritual if I still had big dreams and big desires and big aspirations, and I still liked material things, and I still had like, you know, desires and all this kind of stuff. And so I felt rejection. And for a little while, that kind of sat with me, and I kind of felt in the middle. I kind of felt in no man's land, because I also felt rejected by the 3D world, because I had now kind of branded myself, if you like, in a personal sense of being woo-woo, being spiritual. I was like a new Claire. And for a long time, I was called Crystal Claire when I had a crystal business, you know, even though I still had a corporate business. That was kind of the world that I wanted to be in at the time. And so I was in this no man's land. I was in this like middle of the road. And it took me a little while to really kind of get my thoughts together and to really understand what was going on, to the point where my inner rebel, I've always been a rebel. Again, I have other podcasts on that. So, you know, from being at school to like being in detention nonstop, because I would constantly fight back against the rules. I would constantly fight back against people telling me what to do, against feeling confined, feeling restricted, feeling like I couldn't truly be me. Like, who is anybody to tell us that we can't be truly ourselves, our most authentic selves? At school, it was like, you know, well, you can't wear nail varnish, you know, that's not allowed. And it's like, what? How does that affect my learning? You know, well, you can't dye your hair, that's not allowed. And it's like, what? Again, how does that affect my learning? I'm expressing myself. You know, the universe is constantly wanting to express itself through our human bodies. That's what we are. We are human forms of the universe. And so I've always been a rebel. And I've always been one to fight back against the rules, against what society says that we can or we can't do. As long as it's not hurting anyone, right? Obviously, this is all for the higher good. Everything's always for the higher good. And so I was at this fork in the road, if you like. I was in this no man's land. And I was like, fuck this. Literally those words, fuck this. Who gets to tell me that I'm not spiritual because I'm ambitious? That I'm not spiritual because I've got big dreams, because I like the 3D world? Who are they to tell me that my heart is not being true to me? Who are they to tell me that I don't have a connection with my higher consciousness because I still have these 3D desires and dreams, if you like? And so I did what I've always done for my whole life. I rebelled. And I decided that actually, you know what? This is why I was awakened. This is what I was meant to do. I was awakened because of my dreams and my desires, because of my big dreams, because I'm a rebel, because I'm a visionary, because I'm not afraid to go against the grain, because I'm not afraid to be called out, because I'm not afraid of what people might say about me, because I'm not afraid of judgment, of rejection. I've had it my whole life. It's something that I've been adapted to, and it doesn't scare me anymore. And I decided right there and then that this is my fuel that I will use to follow my purpose, to follow my passion, to follow my dreams, because I am here to break the rules. I'm here to throw out the rule book. I'm here to break those chains, to shatter those glass ceilings, and to forge a new path, to forge a new way, to show others that they can do that too, that they get to be spiritual and successful, that they get to be awakened and ambitious, that they get to be wealthy and worthy. They get to have it all, because we are amazing. We are all amazing. Albert Einstein once said that either everything is a miracle or nothing is a miracle. Now, I don't know which you believe, but I personally believe everything is a miracle. Everything comes from the same energy, from the same star, from the same universe, right? We're all miracles. And that means that you are a miracle. That means that you are meant to be amazing. You're meant to be bold. You're meant to be bright. You're meant to shine your light. You are meant to be uniquely you. You're not meant to follow the path that others have laid. You're not meant to tick off those check boxes as to what is okay for you to do or not to do, as to what constitutes as you being spiritual or not spiritual, as to whether you're allowed to want 3D material things and still be in touch with higher consciousness, still be in touch with the universe, still have guidance from your spirit guide, still manifest your greatest desires. And it doesn't matter whether you class yourself or whether you want to be, fully woo-woo, whether you're just like dipping your toe, whether you are just intrigued. It really doesn't matter. Like for me, I've kind of gone through phases. In the beginning, I went all in and I kind of studied and I experienced and I explored a whole lot of things in the spiritual world. And I took what resonated and I left what didn't. Because there's no rules around spirituality, people. It's not a religion. Spirituality is a personal thing. It is an inside job. And you don't have to explain it to anyone. You don't have to, what's the word? You don't have to, lost my word. You don't have to kind of tell anyone why you believe what you believe, what makes you spiritual or what doesn't. You don't have to justify it, as the word. Thank you. Thank you, universe. You don't have to justify it to anyone. It's yours and yours alone. It's a personal choice and it's a personal preference and it's a personal relationship between you and whatever you like to call your higher power, God, divine, universe, Buddha, Allah, whatever form you have it in, higher consciousness, the quantum field, all of these things are connected. They're all one and the same. They're all just something that we individually choose to believe is helping us, is bigger than us, is supporting us, is guiding us, and is here for us. And you don't need to change any part of you that you don't want to change. Now, don't get me wrong, you will change because you will naturally start to do shadow work. You will naturally start to heal your traumas. You will naturally get in touch with your inner child. You will naturally start to co-create with the universe. You will naturally change. But no part of you has to change for you to consider yourself as spiritual. You can be the richest, most wealthiest, most abundant version of yourself in the world. And you can still be spiritual as fuck. It's not one or the other, okay? You don't have to sacrifice any of your 3D desires or pleasures to be in the 5D. It's all about integrating, merging, embodying the two. Because when you're a visionary that is awakened, that's what we're here to do. We're here to literally bridge the gap. We're here to help both worlds meet in the middle, to say you don't have to choose, okay? You get to be both. You get to be both. And, your dreams and your desires and your goals might change. They might change, but that doesn't mean they have to. And it doesn't mean that they will, but they might. And you might be called to do something more purposeful, more meaningful, more fulfilling, more impactful, just like I was. But I still have my corporate business. And I now have 2 other businesses. 2 of them are multiple 6 figures. The other one I started fairly recently, which is my coaching, my Phoenix brand, which is my Dharma, right? My purpose, what I'm here to do in the world, to empower other women, to empower every single person that I touch, that I get to be blessed with sharing my message, that gets to be in my orbit, that I get to be in their orbit. My purpose is so that each and every one of you listening or watching knows that you can be your brightest, boldest, most badass self, unapologetically, and still be spiritual. You're worthy of it all. You are worthy of everything you desire. And you are here to pave the new path, okay? You're here to make the new rule book. You're here to change the rules, to break the rules. In fact, to throw out the rules. Let's just get rid of them altogether. We don't need them anymore. We don't follow the rules as visionaries. We create our own. We lead the way for others. You are the torchbearer. You are the light. You are the one to show the way for others. And if you can't have the confidence, if you can't find the courage, the bravery that is in you, then how can you expect others to do so? You are here to empower others to rise up, to empower others to lead their best lives without any apologies. You are here. You have been awakened for this reason, okay? For this reason, to follow your dreams, to follow your passions, to fulfill your purpose. And they are all one and the same thing. Your dreams, your passions, your purpose are all one and the same thing. Because when it feels good to you, when it lights you the fuck up, you know that's what you are here to do. That is what you are here to do. Your only job now is to follow it, to do it, to live it, to manifest it, to create it. That is your job. That is your purpose. That is why you've been awakened, to fulfill that, so that your soul can experience that, so the universe can create through you, through the vessel that is your human body, so that your message can be shared, so that you raise the vibration of the planet through what you do and how you do it, because no one else can do it in the way that you do it. No one else can do what you do the way that you do it. There is only one of you. There is only one of you. And you are needed. Your power is needed. Your strength, your courage, your passion, your desire is needed, so that you break the rules, so that you shatter those ceilings, so that you break those chains of societal judgment, so that you can break free, break through, and empower others to do the same. That's what you're here to do. That is what you're here to do. Otherwise, they wouldn't belong to you. You would have different dreams, you would have different desires, and you wouldn't have been awakened. But all of that happened to you for this very reason, to put you in this very place that you're in now, to watch this video, to listen to this podcast. You are in the perfect place. You are in the place that you need to be in this very moment of time, because you're ready to hear it. And it might be things that you've heard numerous times before, but you're ready to hear it now. That's why you're listening now. That's why you're watching this now, because you're ready. Your soul is ready to hear the message. You're ready. So what is stopping you? What is stopping you? All you've got to do is find that inner power, that inner courage. It's in you. You can feel it. That's that fire, right? That's that drive, that ambition, that yearning. That's all inside of you. Knowing that this is your destiny, knowing that you're meant for more, knowing that you're made for more. That's why you're here. You just need to figure out how to unleash it. Because when you do, things will change like that. Like that, literally. I went from being in an abusive relationship for 15 years, people. 15 years. That's like most of my adult life. 15 years. And I had a corporate business, but I was in the hustle, the grind, the burnout culture. I could never get to the six-figure mark, because I was in an old paradigm that was sucking me back. I had no power. I had no power. I had no courage. I had no inner strength to push me through. The fear overtook me. But once you learn how to unleash that, once you learn how to become the version of you that you need to be, that you're here to be, once you do that, your life will change so quickly, you couldn't even blink. Like within 2 years after I left, after I had my tower moment, I had 2 multiple six-figure businesses. I had a house that I could never have even envisioned having before. I just took my kids to Canada for a whole month in summer. I could have never imagined this kind of life before. I'm now an empowerment, inspirational speaker. I could never imagine that before. I'm a coach. I could never imagine that before. All you need to do is learn how to unleash that inner power. And then you will start to embody it. You'll start to become it. And you will start to manifest the life that you are here to have. Create the impact that you're here to make. Do what you're meant to do. On that note, if you need help, if you want a blueprint, I've got a 7-step blueprint for you. It's completely free. It will take you about 10 minutes to look through. And it will give you the step-by-step breakdown of the 7 key elements that you need to unleash that inner power, to become this next version of you, to overcome that fear, to break that paradigm, and to become the queen that you are, to become the version of you that you know you're meant to be, to have the life that you know you're here to live. So if you want that, I'll put it in the show notes. Go and get it. It is completely free. It's my gift to you. And like I say, I am here to help as many of you as possible. I'd love to hear your stories. So do reach out to me, whether it's on Instagram, whether it's in the emails, whatever you want to do. I love hearing your stories and how either my podcast or my courses or whatever it is, how my world is helping you, how it's empowering you, how it's helping you break free from those chains, break free from that judgment, break free from that paradigm that is keeping you confined. I love to hear that. So do get in touch. And until next time, unleash your inner power. It is within you, bursting to get out. Okay, much love until next time, guys.